Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. Is going to be the round 14 review, and oh boy, so getting the numbers out of the way first. 1239, which is good, which is very good for the week. We jumped 1824 ranks, so we're sitting well inside the top 2k now. 1593, which is good. But I gotta be honest, this is probably the most disappointing round of Supercoach I've ever had. Now, obviously, I've had a lot worse and some terrible rounds, but I think this is arguably the most disappointing round I've ever had, and you can probably understand, or you can probably guess what happened. But just dude, I feel like this year we've had so many potential massive weeks that have they've just slipped through the grass. But oh my god, you're gonna see the scores here, which are some unbelievable scoring, and then some low scores, and then the absolute disaster. So starting out, Damien Cook 66. Very solid, very solid. Obviously, it was helped by the fact Jeremy Marshall King got ruled out. So, I mean, I definitely wanted Marshall King last week. I was still happy going Cook, but then obviously people that had Marshall King got a little screwed over this round. It was a bit of chaos. But Cookie went well, 66. He got a try assist, which was nice. I'm still he's still not convincing Cook. He's not really running the ball. And this man, Harry Grant, also... I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Grant. I'm still. Do I just hold him through? Do I trade him down? We'll look at dummy half options as potential pod plays and some money makers. There is one guy for the Roosters, Turpin, who I don't know. We'll have a look at, but Grant's just not. He's just not running the ball. He looks dangerous at times, but he's more getting out from dummy half and passing rather than running. And the Storm are looking fucking god-awful as well. So, I mean, he's still 600k. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with Grant. But yeah, he's had some... I mean, honestly, Grant... Even though he's still averaging 66 for the year, but I've got to be honest, I think trading in Grant when I did... Now, I've had him for a long time now, but way back... when I traded him in, I think that's probably the biggest mistake I've made, because I think I traded him in... I feel like I traded him in round 4 against the Tigers. He started on fire, right? He started on fire. He was like, oh, geez, you got to get him in quick. I think I got him in for round 4. It would have been round 4 or 5. And he's gone 44, 81, 65, 31, 104, 54, 79. There's been a couple of scores, but... damn, there's been some low ones. I mean, 34 and 34 on the trot now. Jesus, dude. It's just not happening. And I feel like, yeah, it's just not happening. The front row, Tohu Harris, 57. Very solid. Joe Tarpany, 67. I mean, Tarpany was on for a big one in this one, but the second stint, the Raiders obviously fell away. They still won, but... The Raiders, I don't know, Tarpany didn't really see much footy. He played big minutes, but yeah, the second stint didn't really increase his points too much. He was on for a big one again, but yeah, just didn't really see the footy much. But yeah, the minutes at lock have been excellent, so got to be happy. Tohu Harris, he was hobbling and limping around. I still think for some reason he still played the full 80. I'm pretty sure. No, he played 73 minutes, so he must have went off late, I think, but he was hobbling around for a good chunk of that game. I thought, oh no, here we go, more drama. Thankfully, he doesn't play round 16 anyway. I mean, I'm gonna keep him unless he's obviously injured, but obviously, always a little bit of panic stations with Tohu Harris and his knees, but 57, you can't complain too much. The back row, oh my, you can also see what happened here. The back row, Johnny Bateman. Oh my god, the round started so fucking well. John Bateman, 102 points. He obviously scored a try, which was nice. Linebacker a try, but his base stats were incredible, dude. He had like 40 tackles. He was running the ball a bunch, and I mean, I sort of knew playing against his old club, the Raiders, I thought he would have a big game, but I like the way he's so dangerous. And I mean, his scores this year have been a bit. You take out sort of the first game back from injury and also a couple of games where he didn't have the full 80. His average has been really, really good. And he wants his hands on the footy. He's just got a bit of attack in him. And they used him a bit through the middle because Kapoa came on in the back row. And it looked like him and Papali'i were sort of switching between the middle and the edge a bit. So his base was up a bit as well. Helam Lukey, 36 points. I'm going to go on a bit of a fucking rant here. Helam Lukey, how many minutes did he play? Fucking like 20 minutes? I'm very angry. 33 minutes. Right. I mean, I knew Nenai was on the bench, right? So I was like, okay, Nenai is definitely going to come onto the edge, fairly early on in the game. But I thought surely Lukey has been in great form. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago where he got hooked in the Tigers game. I mean, again, I thought that was a little harsh. I mean, all the Cowboys players were fucking god-awful, but Lukey, I feel like Todd Payne just doesn't like Lukey for whatever reason. But Lukey got taken off for Nenai, which I thought, fucking really? Like, fucking Payne and Leilua, dude. I think Leilua literally scored less than Lukey in the full 80 minutes. And he was fine. I mean, defensively, he's still... I don't know. I still don't rate him that highly, Leilua. But Payne obviously loves him. But I was hoping that Nenai would come on for, like, Leilua. And Leilua would move into the middle rotation. Because, like, I feel like Leilua through the middle would work pretty well. But even when Lukey went off, I was like, okay, he's off really early. Surely he comes back on. He did, with like fucking 6 minutes to go in the game. And Leilua ended up playing through the middle, which I thought would happen earlier. But it feels like Payne just forgot about Lukey on the bench. So I'm very salty about that. I don't know, he's got the bye this week. He covers round 16. I think we're just going to hold him. I think we'll just hold him and hope that he plays bigger minutes in round 16. If not, it is what it is, and we'll get rid of him. But I don't know. I mean, Nanai, obviously Gilbert's out on the edge for Queensland. I don't think Slater will bring Nanai straight into the team, but he could. I mean, personally, I've talked about him before, but Jaden Sewer, I think, is so underrated, and I'd put Sewer into the side. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one because Nanai, I mean, he's a rep level player. He played for Australia. He's had the one game back. It's probably bad timing that they have a bye now. So yeah, I don't think Slater will. But Queensland, they have a bunch of middle players, but probably the edges are a little bit. I guess Kurt Capel probably is the guy that'll come in. I mean, I don't know. He might go with Nanai. You never know. We'll see what happens there. Jackson Ford, 58 points. I mean, pretty solid. Again, the base was excellent. I don't think he played the full 80 again. No, he did. He did play the full 80. He was back to 80 minutes, which I think was... So, it was lucky. Well, lucky. Rocco Berry obviously got knocked out in that game, and Josh Curran played... Did he play in the centers? Who played in the centers? Or was it... near Corey? I can't remember. I think Curran played in the centers, but regardless, Curran, I thought, was probably going to take minutes off Ford again. But obviously with the head knock, Ford played the full 80 and Curran went into the centers and stuff like that. So I still think Ford is a sell, but it was good that he got the full 80 this week and scored decently. Eli Katoa. So Eli Katoa was not in the plans to bring in this week. However, I did end up using my last boost to trade out Tyrone Peachy. Now, I wasn't like I was pretty sure that Peachy was going to be dropped for Tungo. Obviously, Tungo was fit and ready to go. I was hoping Peachy would get a bench spot, but obviously now he was dropped completely. And I wasn't even really thinking about trading him, but then I was like, you know what? I mean, this is what the boost is for. Like, the boost is for filling out your team, and I thought, you know what? I think Ali Katoa against the Cowboys could dominate. And he looked. There was a couple of moments where he could have scored and gone straight through, but he still scored 59 in a well-beaten team. I thought it was a good time to get on Ali Katoa as well. He plays round 16, and his price, like, he just had a couple of, like, he had a low score here in 80 minutes, but then he got injured. He came back from injury, scored a bit lower, but then 72.90. He was due for a decent price rise, and then he plays Sharks, West Tigers in 16. He plays 17, which is beautiful, and then he doesn't cover 19, but he covers 20 as well. So I thought Ali Katoa, I think he's a season keeper, honestly, the way he was scoring. And the back row options this year have been a bit up and down anyway, so I thought, you know what, Ali Katoa will use the boost, get Peachy out of here, and Katoa can come straight back in. Now, was the boost worth it? Maybe, maybe not. The fact is now Cleary's injured. Tyrone Peachy might play 16. He probably does, right? The more I thought about it after I'd done it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have just kept Peachy because he, like, Crichton will be out. Well, Crichton might not be. I don't know what's going to happen. Brian To'o will be. But Crichton probably won't be because Latrell Mitchell should be back. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. So maybe Crichton doesn't make Origin in Game 2. So Peachy might not come back in. I feel like he might go to the bench with Cleary and Luai being out, or maybe he goes into 5'8". I don't know what's going to happen, but potentially I could have held Peachy. But regardless, he was going to start losing cash, even if he does play limited minutes. So I think the boost was worth it because Ali Katoa covers nicely now, and yeah, he's definitely a point of difference for the back row. Cartwright Schuster didn't play. Oh, this is where it gets mighty sad. So Nathan Cleary. Oh, Nathan Cleary. Dude. Like, honestly, if Cleary doesn't get injured, bro, we would be well inside the top 1,000. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people own Cleary, and obviously a lot of people captain Cleary as well. So if he didn't get injured, it's not like I would have only got the points for it, but a lot of people captained, but a lot of people didn't. Like, it would have been over 50% wouldn't have captained Cleary. So all those people would have missed out on the points, and my week was already incredible. So that just, oh my God, the week was so good. And I was like, even if he scores like 80 points, we will be on a mammoth score, and things would have been sitting mighty pretty. But did his Hemi? I guess the silver lining here is thankfully he got that early try assist, which is good and bad. Obviously good he scored 32, but bad because he was on for a big one, dude. He was on for a big one, but did his Hemi. Nico Hines got 90 points, so I mean I was tossing up between going Nico or Cleary, but the fact Cleary they confirmed he was going to play, I thought he was the better option. Hines, I don't really know how he updated to 90. He was on like 70 something points, and I gotta be honest, that seemed right because he didn't do anything in that second half. But again, Nico Hines with the unicorn points. I mean, I'll take it. But this is also bad for Hines because I actually thought he might be such a good hold now because he probably still. I still think Fittler might have played him in 18th man, which would have stuffed up Supercoach anyway. But now Hines is out, Cleary's out. I know they're talking about, like, people on Twitter talking about Reynolds and Walker. Like, I would be shocked if Hines doesn't come straight in at halfback. Like, I don't know. I know Hines, he hasn't really performed against the better teams in the comp, but I mean, he was on the bench. He's been in great form. I would be shocked if Hines doesn't play halfback for the Blues in Game 2. But you never know. You never know. If we got to wait and see on that one. So Hines, I think now that Cleary's out anyway, Cleary is obviously a trade. I think Hines, even if he plays Origin, I think we're just going to hold him over the Origin period. Obviously, it's not great. We'll miss out on a lot of plays there, but I don't know. I don't know if there's two halfbacks I really want to bring in anyway. But we'll look at that later. Cody Walker banged out a big one, 100 points. Love to see it. And Dylan Brown, so we won't go into the Dylan Brown situation, but it's a wait and see on Dylan Brown and what happens there. So that could definitely screw over a lot of people. Although, I mean, everybody has Dylan Brown, right? Everybody who's going well has Dylan Brown, so everybody's going to suffer the same situation there. And then the back line, oh my goodness. So Val Holmes, 150 points. Oh, baby. Oh, man. I know there was like a lot of people that... I honestly can't understand why people traded Holmes out this week. Like, obviously, if you traded him out last week, you know, that's fair enough. Like, he was going to play not many games over the Origin period. He probably gotten someone to cover the buys. That made complete sense. For me personally, it just made more sense to get rid of Miller, who wasn't playing, and then Holmes. If he backed up this week, it was going to be a good number for me. So I was like, I'll just keep Holmes. Hopefully he backs up. And then, I mean, I thought he would. Like, he's an outside back, so it made sense for me. But people trading him in this week, I don't understand why anyone would trade him this week. Like, his break-even was fairly mid. Like, it wasn't, like, super high or anything. And he's been solid. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why you would trade Holmes this week when he would have played. Obviously, next week or the week after, I was looking at trading him. I still think I will because he's got the bye and then Origin and then back up again. So I think Holmes is going to go, even though he's probably going to make some more money. But yeah, it's a nice hold, dude. It's a nice hold. 150 points. Alex Johnston, 107. So the Rabbitohs connection working lovely. Joey Manu, my vice captain, 41. And Taruva scored a try, thankfully. Off a kick again. But he got 60 points, so lovely to see. It kills me as well, too, because Manu, if Manu scored like 80... If Manu scored 80 points, I would have taken the loop 100%. Like, I thought Cleary would come out and kill it, but there was obviously the potential of him getting rested later in the game, so I didn't think he would get, like, a massive score. So, if I just put the vice-captaincy on Walker, I would have looped 100%. If Manu got, like, 80 plus, I would have looped 100% because it was a free loop. I mean, people on Twitter are, like, having Walker as their vice-captain, asking, like, should I loop? Should I loop? It's like, what are you talking about? Obviously, you take the 300 loop. What are you on? Oh, my God. It tilts me so much when people are, like, asking that question. It's like, obviously, you take the 300. Anything can happen. Like, as you can see, Cleary does a Hemi, scores 30 points. Now, obviously, he might not have and scored 150, but you've got the 300 as captain. A player has to do really well to score 100 points, and that's your captain. Like, obviously take the loop, but Manu shit the bed. The Roosters were dog shit, so they did win, but he was terrible, so I couldn't take the loop. I wrote it on Cleary, and disappointing. Billy Smith, 37. I actually thought Billy Smith looked okay, just, you know, I didn't really see too much attacking footy, but had some good carries and looked okay, so it is what it is. And then, oh baby, the other one, Jareem Buller, 111 points. Oh, feels good, dude. Traded out, yeah, Jack Bird for Buller. How many people do own Buller? Yeah, 29%. I'd say a lot of, yeah, everyone who's doing well probably owns Buller. And I mean, that's the point. Most people own him, but it was still a good trade. So my two trades, dude, well, three, Buller and Bateman got 100. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And then Ali Katoa, 60 points. It's very solid as well. So we have no boosts, which I think is fine, honestly, because you get 3 trades in the major buys anyway. I would have loved another boost for like one of the rounds after the buys, like this one, like round 17 or 19. I think a boost up my sleeve would have been lovely. But at the end of the day, we used the boost appropriately to get 17 players, and I think it was worth it. We have 18 trades left, so you know we do have to look at start saving. But who do we look at trading? So like I said, Val Holmes, I think he's just a trade. Like yeah, it'd be lovely to keep him, but he doesn't play this week. He doesn't play 16. He backs up in 17 against the Rabbits, so that's a tough game. plays 18 against the Tigers, who fucking killed them last time. And then they have the bye in 19 anyway. But yeah, he doesn't play many games over the next few weeks. I think Holmes is a sell. Johnston, we're obviously holding. Marnie, we're obviously holding. Taruva holding. Garrick holding. Croker, I was definitely going to sell last week. But again, there was just more pressing trades. Croker was going to play this week. And for his 300 game, I'm like, you know what? He'll be a good play, I think. I think he'll be a good play. And Billy Smith were holding. So let's have a quick look at round 16 because there's a lot of things to fucking think about here with Cleary out, with the Brown situation. There could be some turmoil. Let's have a look at numbers quickly for 16. Because again, I think if we're pretty okay for 16, we should probably look at more 17 to make sure we're okay for that round. So, all right, round 16. So Cowboys, Penrith. All right, let's go up the top here. So Cook, Grant, both of those won't play. No Cookie. Front rowers, we're a little light on the front rows. No Warriors or Raiders. Fine, who does play? So there's one. we won't count Pele, but we got the money to upgrade Pele. But I don't. Do you want that much money spent in the front row? I don't know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No rabbits. Yeah, no rabbits. 6. We'll count Brown for now, just because who knows. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Dude, we got 12. We got 13 players now. And that's not including Hines, because I'm guessing he's not going to play round 16 now. I think there was a slight chance he would have not made it, but now he will, I think. But that is counting Brown as well, so we got a bit to think about there. And anyone else? I mean, I guess we're counting a Lukey as well. Not great, but potential. I mean, he's got the upside. If he just plays bigger minutes, he could kill it. But let's look at 17. So 17, who has the buys in 17? God, I wish it just said who the buy were. Because who is it? It's Tigers, Titans, and who's the other one? Eels. That's okay, actually. So we don't have any Titans, and honestly, there's no Titans I really want anyway. Tigers, Dream Buller, but, I mean, he's lovely. And Johnny Bateman, be careful of Bateman. And then Eels, so obviously Cartwright, Brown, and that's it. So, honestly, we're looking okay for 17, and we don't have that many Origin players, so that's actually okay. So, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? So, I'm a bit torn. Because it would... Let's have a look at dummy halves, because fucking Grant, dude. Oh my god. Grant. Let's just have a... What has Grant got coming up for him? Because I don't think... Like, as an Origin player, his buys are okay. So he plays 15 against the Sharks. Doesn't play 16. Backs up against Manly. Then Penrith. Buy on 19. And then backs up against the Roosters. I don't know, dude. Because if we look at dummy halves... I mean, Robson's just not doing anything. I could get Robson in next week. Like, I play Grant this week, obviously. Round 15, he plays. We could get Robson in next week, but he's just not scoring. Like, he got 76 the week before in round 13, which was the important week. But other than that, he's getting 50s, bro. He's getting 50s. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's solid. it is solid. Like, I'd rather get 50s than fucking Grant getting the 30s occasionally. He's just running the ball more. Who else is a potential trade in? Blake Brayley. He'll play 16, but I don't. Yeah, no. Just no. I mean, he's just a worse Robson if we're being honest. Tanner Boyd. So Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd got 75. Honestly, maybe I should just kept Tanner. Nah, the Cook trade-in's been good. Sammy Verrills? No, no, I'm not going to get a Titan player in there. The Titans do play 16, but they don't cover the buys very nicely at all. Reed Marnie. I mean, Wade Egan, jeez. I mean, if you knew Wade Egan was going to not get injured or concussed, like, fuck, I would love to have Egan because he's been really good, but it's just, he just keeps getting injured or getting a head knock, so you just can't risk it with, and he doesn't play 16 anyway. You got, so Jacob Little, he has looked pretty good, but it's just not worth it. Ray Stone playing bigger minutes. It's been okay. Honestly, he played pretty big minutes this game. Yeah, 68 minutes. 59 minutes the week before. They don't play 16 though, so it's not really necessarily a good trade. It's not bad because I've got enough players for 16 and then he covers the rest really nicely, but I don't know. Don't think so though. Who else? Fucking Mitch Kenny. I think he played the full 80 off 40 points. I mean, I know Grant got less, but fuck, man, his points are so shit. How does he play such big minutes? And his point scoring, 61 minutes 34, 67 minutes 25, 68 minutes 25. What is happening? How does he not make like 30 tackles at least? That's so strange. I mean, Jaden Sullivan. If you knew Jaden Sullivan was going to keep the spot, but it's just, you just don't know. You just don't know what's going on there. Mono could come straight back in. But Jake Turpin, he was the one guy I was like somewhat looking at. Played 62 minutes. Yeah. I mean, the week before he played big minutes, 51. He only got 25. I don't know. I think Grant maybe next week we look at someone to trade out to, but I just don't like any option really. I mean, maybe we just go Robson, but yeah, I don't know. I think we look at that next week. The front row. Now, granted, I've got the money to go Pele up to pretty much anyone except Fanua Blake, which is fine. Fucking Tino, dude, killing it. Horsburgh, playing on the edge, he didn't get any tries, so back down to earth a little bit. Taniela Paseka has looked pretty okay. I mean, Max King is the guy, but geez. I was pretty confident I'd be bringing Max King back into the side. I don't, well, not back into, but into the side. I don't think I will be, though. Like, his minutes have not been good since coming back. Like, before he got injured, 62 minutes, 55, 54, 68, 51, 62, 72, 59. And then, when did he get injured? Did he only miss the one game? But yeah, since that, 39 minutes, 46 minutes, 39 minutes, like, he potentially is a gun, but with those minutes, you can't bring him in, right? Yeah. Is there anyone else? I mean, Twile and Clemmer both can get 50s, but again, is it worth it? I mean, Jack DeBellin got knocked out, which is interesting. I don't know. I just there's no good front row, man. I feel like we got the good ones, and then the rest of them, like, obviously, yeah, bringing in like one of these guys would be okay, but I don't know. Horsburgh on the edge doesn't really excite me. I don't know. Again, that might be one we wait for next week just to see if someone pops up, but maybe we just run the one front rower. Back row. So I do think Jackson Ford. I do think Ford's got to go. He might be the one trade we make this week. Heal him, Luke. Like I said, I'm just gonna hold him till next week, see what happens. The rest of them we're obviously keeping, but Jackson Ford, again, we can get anyone. So how did Nikora go? Fafita, oh man, what? I don't want to act like a genius, but the trade from Fafita to Bateman, oh baby, that's a pretty good trade. That's a pretty good trade. I mean, Fafita could come out this week, go 120 and kill me, but I still think the fewer minutes and Origin, like, I think it was the right decision. So Jermaine Hopgood, obviously very tempting to bring in, potentially. Britton Nikora, so he's still got 70 points. I mean, he's still going really well. Anyone else? I mean, Preston. Would I bring Preston back in? Honestly, I don't hate it because he's really solid, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would love to bring in Kalamatangi, but you can't do it this week because I feel like Kalamatangi is going to make Origin, right? Like, I feel like he's going to play Origin. I'd be a little surprised if he didn't. Zach Hosking with a 39. It's a tough one. I don't know what to do with trades. And I don't necessarily... Like, I could save this week, which is nice. We probably have to... Well, yeah. The halfback 5'8". I mean, trading Dylan Brown to Kalen Ponga, depending what happens there, could be a masterstroke, potentially. And then backline, fullback. I mean, fullback's fine. Backline. So trading Val Holmes. Who do we want to bring in? There's obviously quite a few decent ones. I mean, fucking Azarko. Oh my god. Fucking got to try the end, dude. I was so salty about him scoring a try at the fucking death of this game. Absolutely killed me. Oh man. I don't know. We could bring Azarko in. He's just unstoppable. Who else? I mean, Mulatalo, obviously 51 points. He's just, man, he bombs some tries, dude. Brian Tyrell obviously be playing Origin. Dang Gagai. Greg Marju. Do we bring in the Greg Marju? So he plays this week against the Bronx. Then he plays 16 against Roosters. He does back up in 17, which is very nice. 18. He doesn't play 19, but then backs up in 20. I don't hate the Marju trade. Fucking Chance, dude. The Warriors don't play 16, so I don't think I can bring him in. But man, he got 100 as well. Tony Staggs almost cracked a ton. Where is... I mean, Jesse Ramian, bit of a pod. So Talakai, 58 points. He did go up 46k. I don't hate Talakai. Just, yeah, he plays 15, 16. Doesn't play 17, so you got to be careful of Sharks. Wait, who did I... I stuffed up the buys. Who did I say? I said he plays 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's very nice. Who did I say had the buy in round 17? But there's definitely options, and then yeah, but this, I don't know, this week I think we definitely trade Holmes to someone, and then Ford maybe. But let's have a look. Who did I say round 17? It was... Oh, what round did I fucking look at, dude? What round was I looking at? Am I losing it? So yeah, 15 this week, 16, and then 17. Who is on the buy in 17, dude? So it is Tigers. It's Tigers, Sharks, and not Eels. Not Titans. Who's the other one? Tigers, Sharks, fucking... I can't read it. Manly? No, Manly play. I mean, regardless, I think round 17 was still okay. So Sharkies, we don't have too many Sharkies anyway. We are going to look at a couple. Bulldogs, it's Bulldogs. Yes, Bulldogs. So Bulldogs and Sharks potentially a little concerning, but we have plenty of Eels potentially. The Eels play 16, right? Yeah, the Eels are very good. And then, yeah, they play 17, so that's lovely. So I think, yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Sharks, Bulldogs, they're a team that I want to bring in, but you do have to be careful of 17. And then Tigers, yeah, we only have a couple, so that's okay. And then if we look at, so Cleary's got to go as well. We could hold off. I mean, the guy, like, obviously, I mean, Sean Johnson killing it. I mean, I just think Moses, right? Like, fucking Moses is the guy. I just don't think there's anyone else worth. I mean, yeah, you could take a punt on Johnson, but he doesn't play 16. Moses plays 16 and 17. He plays the Dogs this week. It is a good game to have him in. He's going to go up a lot, so I think I might bring Moses in this week, honestly. Plays Manly in 16 without their origin players. Dolphins in 17. Doesn't play 18, that's fine. Then plays 19 and 20. I mean, God, dude. Honestly, the Moses trade is just so much better. Like, they cover the buys so well now. Like, 14 was the only tricky round for the Eels players. So, honestly, I think Moses and then forward to fucking Hopgood potentially. But we'll cross that bridge when we come. I think that'll wrap it up in the preview for round 14. I can't believe I fucked up I don't know what round I was looking at, but people probably yelling like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's not goddamn." Who did I say? I said Tigers, Titans, and what round was I looking at? 19? I don't know what fucking round I was looking at. Thankfully, I saw it before I kept going. But yeah, overall, we're looking pretty good. Everything's looking pretty good. Like, we've used our boost, we've used a lot of trades, but the team is stacked. Like, look at the bench. I mean, obviously we're in a bit of strife with a couple of players now, but even like, I mean, our centre wing, we have Garrick, Croker, and Smith on the reserves. I mean, Croker potentially has to go, but he could still make money. Our back row, the back row is a little weak, but I don't know. It's good cover. And it's definitely going to get stronger. The front row, pretty strong. We probably... Do we need another front rower? Maybe. I don't know. Again, we'll see if anyone sort of takes our fancy. But having two gun front rowers and then Fainu potentially scoring well. And then the dummy halves are a bit fucking... I don't know. I don't know what to do with the dummy halves. Honestly, they're the biggest issue for the team, I think. And potentially the halves. With everything going on. But I think overall we're in a pretty good spot compared to a lot of people. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.